Hey guys, Fox here. Another Game Gots episode. I just got back from PAX East, or rather I got back a week ago. I'm just getting around to having some time to film an episode. Yeah, as you guys can see here, I'm a bit of a Star Trek fan as well, so I got these ships from the Star Trek series and stuff like that. You'll probably recognize a few of them. Anyways, that's not what this episode's about. It's about some Game Gots. So first up, I'm going to show a poster that I got while at PAX East, and that's over here, and that is this Transistor poster. Try not to get too much glare here. So there's Red from Transistor holding her sword. I'm not sure what the sword's name is, but the sword's the one that narrates the story in this game. At PAX East, you could actually play the game. They had a playable demo, and I was blown away and absolutely in love. And it was probably my most favorite game that I played at the expo. And another fun thing was the creative director was also at the game. And if we go down to the bottom of the poster, he signed the game along with one of the game designers. So I got to talk to him for a while about the game and Bastion and stuff like that. So, yeah, wanted to show that off. I thought this poster was awesome. So, yeah, that's the first thing I got at PAX. So, let me get down here on the floor here. More Star Trek shit. Some poster tubes. But let's get going on some other stuff I picked up at PAX. Now, as you guys know, there's also another thing at PAX. They sell a lot of board games and whatnot. Alright guys, sorry about that. Had a dead battery on the camcorder, way for me to pay attention to what's going on here. So, sorry, I had to move and plug in the camera here. So, anyways, as I was saying, another thing big at these PAX things are board games and card games. So, I do enjoy board games, and especially card-based board games, so I picked up a couple that I'll show you here. One is Citadels. I hope you guys can see this okay. The lighting over here is not as good as where I normally do it. This is a fun little card-based board game where you basically build up a little kingdom. And to win, you have to have the most little kingdom points. But I'm not going to talk too much about these. So, anyways, Citadels. Up next is actually a card-based board game that I really want to talk about, is because of its cues and influence from retro video games. I'm sure some of you have heard of this. This was a fairly successful Kickstarter game, and that is Boss Monster, the dungeon building card game. As you can see, the box looks like an old black box NES game, which is a lot of fun. You even got the faux Nintendo seal of quality, except it's Brotherwise Games, the guys who made it, for 2 to 4 players. And on the side, you know, it's the same thing. It just looks like the old NES games. So here we go on the back. Boss Monster, all on the pixel art form. Inspired by classic video games, Boss Monster challenges you to become a villain, build a dungeon, lure the adventurers, and destroy them. So you're the bad guy and you're destroying all the heroes. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cards that are based on different creatures from classic games, like Cerebellus. That's obviously a mock-off of Mother Brain. And there's some other players, like this guy on here. That's obviously of that, I forgot his name, but you know, the end boss for Super Mario Brothers 2. But yeah, Boss Monster. Also, what was there was a expansion to Boss Monster, which I thought this was absolutely hilarious. So it's Boss Monster's Tools of the Hero Kind, and it looks exactly like a box Game Boy game, which is so funny. I saw this was excellent. So this is just add some cards to the set, you know, and some tools, weapons for the heroes to use to make the dungeons a little harder to build for you as a villain. But I just thought this was hilarious that they pretty much made this like an original Game Boy box. Some other stuff I picked up. So these conventions also typically have vendors there as well, trying to, you know, sell off
mostly retro stuff. So I picked up a few things there. I always do it on the last day, so that's when they're trying to push their inventory. So sometimes you won't find some great stuff because it's already been bought at full price. If you wait till Sunday, you'll find some things that you're missing for a really good deal. So for $10, I picked up a childhood favorite, and that's Tecmo Super Bowl on the NES. I do own this on the Super Nintendo, but it's not quite the same. I also own Super Tecmo Bowl 3 on the Genesis, which is still pretty cool, but this is the one that I played as a kid. And this is the one that every year, I forgot, once website will make a current roster, including, update all the logos and player information and everything for the current year. So they release a Tecmo Super Bowl 2014 and stuff like that. So it's kind of like Madden. Granted, it's not licensed in any form or way, so it's their homebrew carts that are just of this game, and I love it. So I'm planning on trying to pick up one of those this year. Now this cart has seen better days, but it was only $10, which is much lower than it typically goes through. It says La Rochelle on the back. No, Magic Eraser will take that right off, and then I'll have my Super Tecmo Bowl. I wish I had the box for this game, but maybe I'll pick that up later. Next, for $20, which I thought was a fantastic deal, something I'm missing from my collection. I don't even have any form of this game, whether a port or anything like that. That's Dragon Warrior 2. I know they ported this to Game Boy Color, I believe. I'm pretty sure. It wasn't one of the remakes on the DS, I'm fairly positive. But I'm excited to have this. One of these days I'm going to have a little Dragon Warrior or Dragon Quest marathon where I play through the early Dragon Quest / Dragon Warrior games. I've played through 4, and that's the earliest one I've played through. I played a little bit of 1, never beat it, but I'd like to go back and play it along with 2 and 3 eventually. Up next is something I found which is a really good deal. Now this is brand new sealed. Something I've been looking forward to add to the collection, especially in the special edition full box. And that is Wild Arms 5. So this is the series 10th anniversary edition. So it comes with a little art book and stuff in it. This is one of Xseed's earlier ports. I couldn't think of the right words, but this is their early producing work here, and you can see where they began. These nice box sets that Xseed always does. You got the foil cover with the limited edition cover, because the game box is not like this. This is very nice. I like this better than the actual cover art for the game box. But as you can see from the top, this is still sealed. I got this for $35. Sealed. I quickly went online, to check to see. I was like, are these going for that little online? No. They're going for about $70. So I pretty much got this half off. I was really excited to pick this up. I know it hasn't gotten the best reviews or anything like that, but just being a fan of the Wild Arms series, I'm hoping this will be quite enjoyable to play. Lastly, for the games that I picked up at PAX is an old war game. I'm pretty sure none of you have heard of this, but I'll go ahead and throw it in here. It's Empires in Arms. This is a PC game. Empires in Arms was originally a very large tabletop game. Not miniatures, but it had a very large map of the Europe in the Napoleonic era. And it would take very long to do this. I remember the first game I played, total, I can't tell you, we played it for 4 weeks, 5 days a week for about 7 hours a day. So that's how long this game took. So a company called, I think it's Matrix, the Matrix Games, made this for the computer to make it easier for people to play, and you can play by email and stuff like that. So you don't even all have to be on at the same time. You can take your turn, and it emails all the people, and they open up the game, and the email will update the game for their turn. So it's pretty cool. It's a very long, drawn-out, war-based game. It's just something that I played a long time ago and saw that they made this for the computer, and got me excited, so I went ahead and picked it up. Empires and Arms. So here's a little bit of swag. PAX East didn't have a ton of swag like they usually do, it was surprising for me. I think I got only one free t-shirt, which was kind of odd. I got this. Let me toss this out here. So, Age of Mythology Extended Edition. I know there's some folks that are a pretty big fan of the Age of series. So yeah, they did Age of Mythology. It's pretty like a reboot, and then they just added a lot of content to it. But, you know, it's got this octopus kraken thing on the front, and it was pretty cool. You know, I like these little bandanas. You know, like how the past few years, Supergiant Games would give out Bastion bandanas and whatnot. But, yeah, the swag was pretty lacking this year. I mean, I think I got a couple posters and one t-shirt and a bandana, so. But that was it. PAX was really enjoyable, but now let's go on to the stuff that I didn't get at PAX. Let's find some thrift store stuff here. First up is Mario Party 2 on the N64. A little dirty, but the label's pretty good condition, so I can just clean this up and take off these stickers, which I might be able to do. We'll see. But the game works just fine, and Mario Party 2, because I don't have Mario Party 1 or 2. Actually, I don't have any Mario Parties for the 64, which was surprising. So when I saw 2, I was like, I gotta get that. Especially only for a couple bucks. Next up, I was at a Goodwill, and I was about to give up because I couldn't find anything until I saw one of these. So this is one of those players that hooks into the back of the N64 controller, and that you would stick Game Boy games in. Game Boy, and I think Game Boy Color would work in it, I'm not sure. Or at least some of them would. Anyways, but Game Boy games. And I think usually this came out when Pokemon Stadium came out, because, you know, you would transfer your Pokemon from the cart to the N64 game so you could do battles and whatnot. So, you know, I wasn't thrilled. I was like, I don't really need one of these for, you know, and it had a $3 sticker. Well, I leaned over a little bit and I saw some bread sticking out of the cartridge slot. Well, they thought this was part of it, so I got a copy of Pokemon Red with it, which I do not own. I have blue and yellow, but I don't have red. Well, now I have the original trio of Pokemon games, which makes me really happy. This is a pretty damn clean copy too. Bonus, save battery still works, which was surprising. Logged on there, and there's some kid with a bunch of level 100 Pokemon on there, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, excited to have that. Next, let's see here. Thrift store. Surprisingly, I don't have a copy of this game. Don't beat me up. I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I love the first game. Halo Combat Evolved. I did not own a copy of this, so I went ahead and grabbed it. You usually find these fairly often at thrift stores and stuff, so, you know, I was like, well, what the hell. I will grab it for a couple dollars and add it to the collection. This was probably my favorite Halo, and you know, that's pretty much it to it. Next, my friend was trying to get rid of a bunch of games, as he bought an Xbox One and didn't feel the need to keep any of his 360 stuff, so he gave me a list of games, and I said, oh, I'll take two of them. He's like, fine, you can have them. One is Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning. I've heard this was a great third-person dungeon type crawly Diablo-esque type game, Dragon Age. You know what type of stuff I'm talking about. Heard a lot of good stuff, a lot of good story, solid graphics and everything. So if I get bored, I'll give it a shot. And Diablo 3 on the 360. Now, one of the games I played at PAX East was Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition for the PS4. So it includes this game and the expansion. And it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I probably won't play this. but I never know. I might get into it. This might get sold later if I pick up the Ultimate Evil Edition on the PS4. As you know, space in the game room is a little limited, so I don't need dual copies unless it's something that I really enjoy, like BioShock or something like that. Up next are a couple Vita games. So my Vita backlog is getting pretty damn long, and I'm finishing up Bravely Default finally. It took me long enough to get back to it, but I should be finishing it hopefully this weekend, so I could start playing my nasty Vita backlog. You know, Danganronpa and these games, Final Fantasy X. Ugh, it's too many. But the first is Conception 2 for the Vita, Children of the Seven Stars. So this is their pretty much their first print edition. So it comes in this little cardboard box and includes the original soundtrack. The soundtrack is pretty awesome. I'm not sure if I'm going to be playing this in the background or another soundtrack. We'll find out. But yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this. The reviews are fairly mediocre to pretty good. I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of, how do I word this? There, you do a lot of breeding. As you can see, the perfect child. You got to create the perfect star children to help you battle through this game. So there's a lot of sim date, I guess, type mechanics to it. I mean, it's not over the top. I don't think you're going to have too much. It's not adult only or anything like that, but it should be fun. It's a kind of an interesting thing to do. So, you know, you make your children to battle. A lot of family stuff. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but looks awesome. I love the artwork, and I approve of stuff that Atlas brings to us. And lastly, something from NIS America, Nippon Ichi Software. Order this online, the collector's edition, as I know these collector editions go really fast, so I'm really picky and choosy on which ones I get. But this one I was very interested in, and so far this is actually getting pretty solid reviews. So NIS is doing a hell of a bang-up job on their games that they're releasing on the Vita, because Danganronpa was a pretty big success. So, and I'm hearing this one is doing almost just as well, and that's Demon Gaze. Now this is fantastic artwork here on the front of this box here. Pretty cool. And you flip it over and you got some more stuff on the back. I haven't played it, but the reviews are praising it fairly well, so got a lot of cool stuff in it. But some other people did some unboxings of this, so I'm not going to go into very big detail here. Here's the game. There's the box art for this game. Typical JRPG box art, you know, cast of characters like Conception and many others. But pretty cool. Back. Can you control the raging demons? Looks pretty cool. So I'm excited. I think I'm going to play Danganronpa first. And then I don't know what the hell else I'm going to play, but something else. Official soundtrack for the game. Very cool. You got 11 tracks. Very nice. And then you get like a mini art book, or as some other folks would say, an art pamphlet, because it is pretty short. See here, we got, that's pretty cool. It's got some character bios and stuff like that from the game, some different weapons. But you know, this is always a nice added thing to the game. I mean, this collector's edition was $50. It's like a whole $10 more, and you get a soundtrack and a little art book and a nice box. It's pretty much worth it. Alright guys, there we have it. Pickups. Lots of stuff. Yeah. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this really long episode of Game Gots, and I hope you stuck around to watch it all. Anyways guys, thanks for watching.